What is up, everyone? Today we're showcasing Shadow Poliwrath in the Ultra League, which I think is currently just an amazing pick for this meta, because it's one of the better answers to walrein. It can beat Talonflame, it beats Galarian, Stunfisk, it can beat Swampert. It generally does lose to Registeel, unfortunately, because a Zap Cannon just knocks you out, but you still have a lot of play there, because you can hit it hard with a dynamic punch. Now, Poliwrath does struggle a lot with Pokemon like Trevenant, Charmers, and Cresselia, which is why I'm running Drapion on the back, because it covers for those very nicely. Then as a third, I'm running Trevenant as that extra Registeel answer, besides also doing pretty good against the things Poliwrath generally loses to. Anyway, let's get into these battles, starting off with a Talonflame Lead. Now this is generally a winning matchup, but it's definitely not amazing. It kind of relies on you calling the moves correctly, because one Scald unfortunately doesn't kill, but it does put him very, very low. What I like to do here is I'll shield this move up. They're still, well, they're now at 2 Flame Chargers, but even if they bait, I can switch after the Trevenant. They're not going to throw the next Flame Charge immediately, because that's way too obvious. So throw another Incinerate, and I'm able to kill in 3 Shadow Claws there before they are able to fire their move. In comes our walrein now, honestly, not ideal, because this thing will be able to get to an Icicle Spear. Before I get to 2 Seed Bombs, I don't think it would kill those, so that they don't even throw, and I get to my next Seed Bomb right here. They're going to have to shield her if they want to get this off, so they do that. They throw the Icicle Spear here, and this is looking pretty good, where it even shields. Unfortunately, well, actually, I do have switch advantage, because our Talonflame is dead, of course. I'm going to punch the walrein right now. This should kill the walrein if they don't shield, but they do shield, which is fine. I can go for another one right here before they get to the Earthquake. The Poliwrath is really just so spammy with the Mud Shots. Only takes 6 Mud Shots to get to the Neck Punch and Scald. And in the back is this Crafty, another pretty good matchup for the Poliwrath. Fortunately though, since this is Ultra League, one move won't kill, but I'll be able to get to my next one for sure. There's a ton of damage though. I'm actually gonna catch the foul play here for no reason. I just thought it was funny. And well, we do catch it, and Drapion will be able to get to a move here to kill the Scrafty. GG, right? Yes, let's go. Alright, Tapu, Fini, Lead. Could this be the team? I think it is. I go into Drapion, in comes Registeel, and it must be Talonflame in that back then, right? Which means I might not be looking too good. But Drapion really doesn't do it too bad in this matchup. Poliwrath actually isn't bad versus Tapu Fini, because, well, they can only do Water Guns or Moonblast, and Moonblast takes a lot of energy to get to, and if I keep shields, like, I can just dynamic punch it a couple times and it's almost dead. I'm pretty sure Poliwrath just beats Tapu Fini in the 2 shields straight up. And another play I can make here, the play I'm planning to make here, is just throwing this Crunch, letting my Drapion go, and then farm down with Trevenant. Because if I can get a bunch of energy on Trevenant, the Talonflame is also not safe, alright? They Zap Cannon my Drapion, I bring in Trevenant, and my opponent actually makes a bit of a mistake here. They bring in the Tapu Fini again, which, you know, is really, really great for me, because I got my Trevenant locked onto it now. This could be a Moonblast. Moonblast is 20 Water Guns to get to, and they've definitely thrown 20. I think they've thrown basically exactly 20. So I shoot that up. I go for another Seed Bomb here. They're not even close to the move, so I'm actually going to undercharge this, because I want to get more energy. I'm hoping this doesn't kill, but it did. That's kind of unfortunate. In comes Talonflame. This is still not a great spot to be in, actually, because Talonflame with a shield advantage does beat Poliwrath. So I'm not looking amazing here, but I might be alright, since Trevenant is also not too bad. I am calling the Flame Charge bait here, alright? And I call wrong, because it is a Brave Bird. I am very confident my Trevenant is still able to get the 2 Shadow Balls though, so I'm gonna throw one here, which unfortunately do shield up, but I should be able to get to another one before they reach the next Flame Charge. Yeah, there's still 1 Incinerate off the next Flame Charge, so I can throw 1 Shadow Claw and throw my move, but in comes the Registeel. Registeel already has energy, so in order to make sure they don't get to their move, I'm just going to throw my Seed Bomb once I'm at 100 energy, and now I should be able to fire the Shadow Ball into the Talonflame straight away. And if this kills, I take the win, and it does GG. The Deoxys defense lead is really bad for me, so I'm going to switch out into my Drapion as usual. I still have a Trevenant in the back for the Deoxys as well, so if I can align my Trevenant to the Deoxys later, that'd be very nice. This is not a great matchup for Drapion because his walrein can survive 2 crunches, and I definitely don't survive an Earthquake, so not too great. My opponent here is going for a move, and I'm gonna shield this up because I want another crunch. I'm really expecting the Icicle Spear here, so I was fine with that, but they actually Earthquake, which is so much better for me. Honestly, if you are the walrein in that matchup, I don't think there's any reason to go for Earthquake. I think that's a bit of a misplay by my opponent, because double Icicle Spear kills me. They don't need to go for the Earthquake. It's a bit of a waste of energy if I shield. They're gonna go for double Icicle Spear here. I let the first one go, and now I think I should be barely able to farm this down. It took me 5 Poison Stings, which means they died with the Icicle Spear there, so it was very close. In comes the Deoxys. I overfarmed by 1 Poison Sting, which is a mistake, because now I'll die with the second crunch. They get the defense drop though, which is nice. Bring in Trevenant, doing some extra boosted Shadow Claw damage. It's really gonna depend on what is in the back right now. In comes a Golem. Definitely wasn't expecting the Golem. Just gonna go for the Scald right away, because Golem can pack a Wild Charge, which would definitely one-shot me. They shoot it up, of course. They're gonna go for a mover. Wild Charge will definitely knock me out, but it is not a Wild Charge. It is a Stone Edge, which doesn't knock me out, and I'm barely not able to get to the Scald. Honestly, I would have preferred that to knock me out, because then they would not have been at the move yet. This move coming through, Stone Edge. Does this kill me? Barely doesn't kill me. Gonna go for the Seed Bomb right here. Should have really thrown 1 more Shadow Claw, or did 1 less, because now I took a Volt Switch damage for nothing. But it's still Deoxys in the back, and these counters really won't do anything. So I can Seed Bomb this, and I should be good to go. Yes, that is a very nice game. Alright, Shadow Nidoqueen lead. This is actually a very annoying lead, even though I can basically one-shot this with a Scald. My Mudshots really aren't doing that much damage, and these Poison Fangs plus Poison Jabs will really start to add up. You can already see I'm deep into the yellow, and they actually catch a Scald on their Scrafty, which is insane. Scrafty, another Pokemon that's kind of a problem for this team. I can deal with it with Poliwrath and Drapion, but when shields are up, Scrafty is a real problem. I go for the Dynamic Punch there. Honestly, it was pretty obvious they were gonna shield. I should have probably gone for another Scald, because that does have the potential for an attack drop, which could come in pretty huge. In this matchup, I've put him into a range where I can kill with this Sludge Bomb though. Actually, I think this barely doesn't knock out. I did throw on CMP though, hoping it would knock out, but unfortunately they get to another Power Punch here. Luckily, Power Punch not the strongest move, but does do some nice chip damage. And they get another counter too. In comes Nidoqueen, gonna go for the Crunch. Drapion really doesn't do as bad versus Nidoqueen as you would think, because these crunches really do a lot, and Poison Fangs and Poison Jabs don't really do that much damage. In comes walrein. I don't think I'm able to get to a crunch there, so I switch out into my Poliwrath, gonna shield up this move, and at this point I gotta hope I can get to 2 Dynamic Punches. Again, I probably should have Scalded. Yeah, I probably should have Scalded, because it's pretty obvious they're gonna shield her. I could try for potential attack drop. Unfortunately, I barely miss out on my next Dynamic Punch, and now I'm in honestly a big problem, because this walrein is gonna get to a couple Icicle Spears. They've got so much energy. I bring in my Trevenant, gonna let the first one go. Honestly, should have shielded that, because, well, I mean, they're gonna get to another one, so it doesn't matter, but I might as well shield the first one anyway. Seed Bomb does less damage than Shadow Ball, so I'm gonna go straight for the Shadow Ball, but to catch it on the Queen. Honestly though, really didn't matter. This Queen had way too much health. I would not have been able to take it out no matter what. So nice catch, but I need to throw that anyway. This walrein is just way too strong for my back line there. GG. Jellicent Lead is super bad for Poliwrath, so I'm gonna instant switch into Drapion. I bring in the Scrafty. Not the worst matchup for Drapion, but definitely not so good. If Scrafty shoots up a Sludge Bomb or 2, they can just straight up counter plus Power Punch through me, as Scrafty does with most neutral Pokemon. Gonna let the first Power Punch go, of course, it's a weak move, and then I'm just gonna go for another Sludge. Not before they get to a Power Punch though. I didn't throw my Sludge Bomb there because I really wanted to get a Poison Sting through during their charge move, but unfortunately I didn't get it. Luckily though, they also don't get their counter during my Sludge Bomb, so that evens things out. Hopefully I can get to the Crunch still. I cannot. So they take me out. They still have a shield, and this is kind of a big issue because Poliwrath really doesn't have any fast foot pressure. That's a problem I've noticed with this team in general. Both Mudshot and Poison Sting are just extremely weak, don't do much damage, so farming stuff down is very hard. It's really only Trevenant that can farm stuff down with Shadow Claw, but obviously that doesn't really work versus Crafty. I'm gonna bring in the Trevenant into Jellicent now, and then bring in a Talonflame. I'm looking to be kind of triple hard countered here. Luckily though, Trevenant still has a lot of play versus Talonflame. Gonna throw the Shadow Ball here, and it would do a lot of damage, but they shield it. Gonna shield up their Flame Charge. I'm 4 away from the next move, but I know I win CMP, so I'm actually gonna throw at 5 exactly when they get their next Flame Charge. If this knocks out, I'm in a pretty decent spot there. Go for the Shadow Ball. Does it knock out? It does. In comes your Jellicent now. This thing already has energy. I'm forced to shield this move, even though it's likely a Bubble Beam. I don't really want to throw my Shadow Ball whilst I'm debuffed because it might not kill, so I'm going to switch out with the Shadow Ball into my Poliwrath. Since I know I win CMP versus the Jellicent, all I have to do is just chip this Jellicent as much as possible, let my Poliwrath go down, and then get off the Shadow Ball with Trevenant. There's only one thing that can go wrong now, and that is if I lag. So let's just pray I don't lag here, and I get off the Shadow Ball. In comes my Trevenant, and I get my Shadow Ball. That is a good game right there. GG. Final match, we lead into another Jellicent, so I'll bring in my Drapion. They stay in for a little bit. I don't throw my Crunch immediately, kind of fearing a catch, but that does allow him to get off a Bubble Beam here. I really should just throw my Crunch immediately, since that might have taken a shield right there. In comes Nidoqueen. Really not that great for Drapion, but also really not the worst. When I'm debuffed, it kind of is, though. I kind of need a defense drop here, so my next Crunch after this knocks out. Unfortunately, though, I do not get it. Luckily, I throw my move here before they're able to get to the move. If this is a CMP time, I'm going to shield it up, expecting them to Earth Power immediately. They also shield up my Crunch, and I get the drop, which is just very fortunate for me. Going to shield this move up. They never go for Poison Fang there, because if I no shield, that's quite devastating for them. I can go for another Crunch here before they get to the next Earth Power. They should knock out if they no shield, and they do let it go. I get switch advantage here, which is really good for me. But that Jellicent is still a huge problem, of course, especially since they came in Crafty right here, which means I can't really switch out. If it was anything else, I could have probably switched out and saved my Drapion here for the Jellicent later. But since it's Crafty, I don't really want to get that aligned to Trevenant later. I kind of have to let my Drapion go. Now Trevenant versus Jellicent. This isn't great. This thing is going to outpace me. So I'm just going to go straight for the Seed Bomb. And now just let my Trevenant go down. I just got to hope my Poliwrath can sweep here. I've put this Jellicent into a range where Scald will knock out. And I'm also going to make a risky call here, expecting... Oh no, no risky call. I remember. I shield this up. Expecting the Shadow Ball. Safe call. And I got it. Luckily, if there was a Bubble Beam, that would have been quite devastating. Gonna Scald this Jellicent right here. If they shield, that's super fine. Well, I don't know if it's fine, because I might still go to the Shadow Ball, but they actually switched out this Crafty, hoping to catch a Scald probably, but I was patient. I didn't throw it. And now the players should just double up on moves, get off a Dynamic Punch onto this Crafty, and then Scald the Jellicent. I should be able to win CMP there, so even if they have a Shadow Ball, I should be able to win this match. Dynamic Punch, just Crafty, takes it out, go for the Scald, and it should take out the Jellicent and finish off this video. Hope you enjoyed the battles, hope you enjoyed the team. Poliwrath is definitely a Pokemon I can recommend you to run. It's super fun, does very well against the meta, so hopefully you can enjoy it too. Anyway, see you in the next one. Good luck with your battles, trainers.